Okay, awesome. Hello, hello. So we are here for an exploration of the solar plexus chakra. Thank you for being here in our Temple Sisters Tuesday evening. So if you're joining us live or watching the recording, Katie and I just feel really honored that you chose to spend your Tuesday night with us. If you have your candle, we're going to go ahead and just start with a drop-in. So grab that candle and go ahead and light it. Using some old school matches over here. Okay. Taking a moment to hold your candle and just kind of take in the flame as you watch the sacred flame, just starting to relax your body, starting to acknowledge that we are dropping into ceremonial space together, to sacred space. And now lifting your candle just towards the screen for a moment, switching your screen to gallery view if it's not there, and just taking in the sisterhood that is joining us here tonight. Just bringing all of our lights together, honoring all of our inner fires, all of our passion, all of our power. All right, so with that, if you'll just set it to the side, but keep that flame in mind. If it feels safe for you to close your eyes, you can do that, or maybe you want to have a gentle gaze at your candle flame. Whichever option feels best is certainly available to you. Just get yourself really comfortable in a seated position, straightening the spine, pulling the shoulder back slightly just to open the heart. Feeling the base of your body, so feeling wherever your body is connected to the floor, be that your feet or how you're seated. Just beginning to ground and to settle in here. Honoring yourself for saying yes to Temple Tuesday. And as you breathe, opening yourself to this experience and whatever is available for you. Beginning to take deep inhales in through the nose and letting the exhales fall out of the mouth with a sigh. Really letting that breath feel good. Letting each breath soften the body from the top of the head down to the tips of your fingers and down to the tips of your toes. With each inhale, I want you to draw that breath from the root, so down at the base of your body, up through the womb and into the solar plexus, which is located just above the navel. And as we breathe into this space, just beginning to picture that flame of your candle just here within you, right in the center. So your own sacred flame. And just breathing into that space, awakening your inner fire here tonight. This fiery core of our being. This place of power, confidence, boundaries, and self-worth. Honoring and acknowledging that for many women, and maybe many of us, this is a space that may have been dimmed at some point or even now by shame or doubt or the pressure to please. We've been taught to be small, to avoid being too much, and to question our worthiness. But here and now in this space together in sisterhood, let's breathe into this fire and let that dim light grow brighter and brighter with each inhale. Breathing in compassion, breathing in love, breathing in tenderness and presence for this exploration here tonight. Breathe back into the knowing that this fire within us is not meant to be extinguished. It is meant to radiate, to guide, to empower. So as you breathe, I want you to picture this flame growing and growing, brightening and brightening, bigger and bigger. Breathe into the source of inner strength, the place where we claim our right to take up space, to say yes when we mean it and no when we need it. It is where we own our choices, trust our intuition, and lead from a place of power and knowing. feel that fire continue to strengthen, knowing that tonight we are invited into a remembering and a return to our rightful power. We invite in healing and activation in this space. And as we breathe, just beginning to soften any of that shame that does not belong to us. Each inhale reclaiming the power that has always been ours. As you continue to breathe, affirm within yourself, I am worthy. I am powerful. I trust myself. Notice where in your body your power is beginning to stir. Where is this power stirring within you? Whether as warmth or tingling, or maybe just a quiet knowing, let yourself feel it. Breathing more into this space, amplifying this fiery energy within you. Together in sisterhood, let's take one more deep breath, feeling this light expand, anchoring you into this worth and power and presence for our circle here tonight and beyond. Allowing your body to soften into the knowing that we will leave tonight wanting to stand taller, shine brighter, and walk with the unshakable knowing that we are enough. One last breath together because we can, breathing in that we are enough. Exhale when you feel ready. Move your body or shake your body in some way. Coming into the space, coming into the room, into the temple. Get fired up. Learn about this sacred center. My friend Katie, I will toss it to you, my love.
Hola, chicas. Oh, Leah, thank you. I'm feeling the heat. Thanks. All right, ladies. Welcome. It's so good to see you all. All right, so we've made it to our third chakra, solar plexus. And it's located right here underneath that swoop of the ribs. Right there. And like all the chakras, this could be imbalanced, either excessive in the way where it's so yang, where it is like goal oriented, proving I will, if it's going to be done well, I'm going to reach that goal. If I have to turn into a machine, I will achieve this, right? And it's like, whoa. Yeah, it can burn yourself out, right? And then there's the other one where it's more collapsed, cooler, where we are maybe a little more feeling kind of a little lazy, and you might not have the best boundaries for yourself and follow through, and yeah, just kind of feel like aimless a little, right? And you would think that the collapsed one is more having to do with self-worth, which is like a huge part of this chakra. But it's actually both. The excessive can be the root of going so much is this like needing to prove our worth. And then sometimes when we can get so tired that we collapse, or like a negative belief comes into our mind and it just takes the wind out of our sails, and we collapse back into that sort of place. Or maybe we just don't have the motivation either because we just don't have that belief in ourselves. Okay, so a root of either one of those imbalances could be this whole self-worth thing, and I'm probably is because whew, That is a big theme throughout our culture, is this lack of self-worth, um, and doing a lot to try to feel like we have it or pretend like we have it. So the thing with this area here, like I tend to run a little more hot and overdo. So what I'm realizing is I don't want this fire here to just burn the house down. Like it can just feel like just uncomfortable, like just too much, like enough. But then the other way could feel like the fire is out. And then it's cold and right. So how I like to picture this chakra is this beautiful yellow glow. This glow. So it's not hot, hot, and it's not cool. It's just like a warm glow. And we can vacillate between the two, excessive and deficient. So yeah, we can kind of swing some. The what I think how to think of these excessive and deficient imbalances in all the chakras is like, we're always going to have a little of this, and certain situations might pull my heart this way, or might shake my root this way or this way. But the more we do this self inner work, like it's just not as extreme. It's not quite as extreme. So like my overdoing is not as extreme where then it makes me just collapse for a week. Like the challenge of this chakra, for those who were in Temple Sisters last year, is the emotion shame. Dun dun dun. Icky old shame. Oh God. It's that's a hard one. That can be a hard one to feel. But today we're going to feel it, and it may not be quite as hard as you think. So we will do that. What I find so interesting about this chakra is, so here's this place of like self-worth, the will, the ego, our personality. It's the ego doesn't have to just be the things that are like bad. Like it's not, we don't have to demonize the ego. It's when it's parts of the ego that are like closing off our perception, our full perception of ourself and of others and of this experience. So the shame, right, can do this. It can change the perception of this. There's beautiful parts of our ego too. If we didn't come in with the tendencies and talents and personality that we have, like our gifts wouldn't come through. If we were all exactly the same, we would all have the same gifts. And so I really love how the ego plays a role in our soul's path in this life. It comes as you in this life, and you have these certain ways about you. And then therefore it is a vehicle for your gifts to be manifested and shared. And some of these gifts actually can come from limiting beliefs, actually, that you worked through. And then you rose through. So that's where we get to, on the other side of shame, that you move through the shame, and the gift of the solar plexus is transformation. So we're not getting held back by this shame and playing small and thinking, second guessing everything we're doing, and oh no, we're going to fail, so I'm just not going to do it. And we're going to start to be able to not feel afraid to feel some shame. And we're going to find ways tonight to even the shame won't have quite as much of a hold on us. So we can actually start to grow more and more with more ease too. Not such of an inner balance, inner battle either. Cool. So let's see what time it is. 6. Before we get up and do some movement, I'm going to talk about shame briefly. I just want you to know that it can be useful, right? The feeling when you're feeling embarrassed, right? It's sort of a similar feeling as shame. When this is happening, it can let us know if we're living in our integrity or not. So if we're feeling ashamed about something, it's an amazing opportunity to ask ourselves, like, wait, why am I feeling this way? Oh, I wasn't, this thing means a lot to me, and I really wasn't holding it with integrity, right? And then you offer some forgiveness. But sometimes we'll be holding shame, and then we realize, what? This, I'm ashamed because of, like, I'm a female, and I'm a female, so I shouldn't be doing this thing. And then you can dispel that is actually a limiting belief that was pressed upon you from your past. And so often when we're feeling shame, it's one or the other. It's for our own lack of integrity, or we're following something that's not even our fucking belief system. And we can kind of cut it right then once we see it, because it's just unconscious, because we've been hearing certain messages since we were little. This is what women do. This is what good girls do. This is what a good Christian does. This is what looks cool. This is how you're cool, right? Um, oh, if you have this thing, then you're going to be enough. So, religion, family, culture, media, peers, teachers. You get this grade, then I guess you're smart, right? If you're good at math and in English, then you're smart. But if you're not that great in that, then you're not smart. Well, I'd like to have them see me today. So, shame can be helpful. Do you see this? I just want to make sure this is getting relayed, right? But dang, we've gotten it good at hiding it. When we feel that, it's more embarrassing to let somebody know that you're feeling embarrassed a lot of times. And we can even hide it from ourselves sometimes, that, like, I didn't know what this emotion was. I mean, I heard about it, but it was still like 10 years ago. Like, oh, I don't think I feel that much, right? Then I finally identified what shame felt like in my body. And I was like, oh, okay, I actually feel that a lot more than I thought. So it's like we know when we're angry, we know when we're sad, we know when we're stressed out, but sometimes feeling ashamed is more hidden to us. So we've spent a lifetime of trying to cover it up. Feels shameful to feel ashamed. So even the root word shame means to cover. So I'm here to empower you tonight by saying we do not have to be afraid of shame. Yeah. We have to be fierce, not with pushing our shame away. We need to be fierce with seeing what the beliefs are that are unconscious. What did your dad or mom maybe say or reinforce, right? What did, and then they can get stuck. And then if we hear things enough, we begin to believe them, then they don't even have to say it anymore. It's already in there. And we start doing it to other people. So I'll check in with you. Any questions about this so far before we go into some movement and a meditation?
Katie, I'm just going to share my screen really quick to show what the symbol is.
Yes, sure.
I didn't do that earlier, so.
Sure.
Well, it says it's, oh, here we go. Okay. You guys see that? Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So just take that in, take in the color, take in the symbol. And this will be in your drive as well. I just wanted to make sure everybody saw that.
And this is called Manipura. That's the Sanskrit word, and it's translated to mean illustrious gem. That you are, the precious jewel that you are, that came into the planet as you. What are we going to do with this one precious life as you? Okay. Before we go into a meditation, I want to build a little bit of this fire so that when we meet our shame, we're just feeling even more badass. All right. Okay. Me scoot back a little bit. Okay. All right. So we'll start with some breath of fire, appropriate, right? And we'll do our Kundalini hands. They're like this. Your fingers curl in like that, and your thumbs are sticking up. I'll scoop. I'll show you from here. Can you see that? They're at a V. This is called the ego eradicator when you put your hands up like this. And again, I'm going to say, the parts of the ego that are actually limiting us. Yeah. So put that up and breathing into the belly, right around your navel. When you exhale, you'll exhale out the nose and then a little inhale in the nose. And the belly pumps. Continue with this. It's like the breath is like a bellow that you use when you're stoking a fire, and the flames are growing a little more in the heat. You can just about 30 more seconds. Imagine that the heat is rising even into the heart center. Now take an inhale and hold the inhale. Touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Look up towards your crown. Hold the breath, hold the breath. Now, as you exhale, draw your thumbs together over your crown. Hold the exhale at the base, bottom of the exhale. Inhale, open the arms. And we'll take 3 breaths as we trace around our aura and up through our central channel. Starting to distribute that energy that we cultivated. Balancing that out a little. Yes. Taking the arms out to the sides. Yes. And we're going to drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. And they bounce onto the sides of the ribs. And they're stirring up the energy there underneath the ribs. Good. Arms rise up. And we'll twist from this solar plexus. This is where the action is, twisting from the solar plexus. And the arms will gracefully flow above your head like flames. And we'll inhale when you turn to your left, exhale when you turn to your right. Ready? And inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Last breath. Good. Let the arms soften down. Stay here for a moment, basking in that afterglow. We'll stand up for a moment. Let's do a couple standing exercises. Yeah. Right. So, are you ready for this? We're gonna find our warrior 1, 2, warrior 2. And your legs are spread. You're bent into one knee and you're looking out over the long arm, over the knee. And the hips are turned flat. So your shoulders are over your hips. They're square with your shoulders and hips together. Good. And we're going to inhale, face your front, and go to the other side. All right. We're not just faking this pose now. You are going to own it. You stand in your power. You are warrior, goddess. Can feel your rooted, grounded feet, strong legs. You're looking out over the horizon. And coming up, facing front. Our last bit, I call them sun punches, but I picture the sun, the rays of light up there, and I grab them. I take it through my body and punch it to the center of the earth. So I'm connecting earth through my body, sun through my body into the earth. One little anatomical thing is I'm trying not to lean and spill my power away. I'm keeping the shoulders over the hips. And I really feel this punch at the end. Punch, like it's like pounds and the earth ripples from it and the sun rays go down. Ready? We're going to do it 11 times. Here we go. Inhale, sun rays up and down. Huh. 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 Make the sound from your solar plexus. Huh. 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 Last one. Huh. Bask in that shift of energy. Yes. Yes. Come on back to seated. Okay. Get comfy. We'll go into meditation here. So closing your eyes and dropping your awareness more into your body, the inside of your vessel that is your body for this life. And begin to breathe more consciously inside the body. And for this meditation, it will help if you can recall a time that you were embarrassed, a time that you felt ashamed, a time where either you just didn't uphold your integrity, or maybe this could have been some other situation where you were misunderstood or judged from someone else's beliefs. And you don't have to choose the very most heightened one, because we are online and I can't be there with you and I can't see some of you. So I'm trusting that you can have boundaries with yourself and you know what this space and what you can hold at this moment. So find one that you can work with, that where you can stay in your you can still be in resilience. You're recalling a time you felt ashamed. Start to notice how that lands in your body. Where do you carry your shame? Not what part of your body are you ashamed of, but where does that emotion land in your body? And how does it land? I'll go through a series of questions for you to get more familiarized with your sensation of shame. So I hope that you found where it lands inside your body. And you don't have to have an answer for every question on this list, just the answers that can naturally come to you. So, does this sensation of shame have a temperature? Does this part of you, does this shame have a color? Does this sensation of shame have an image to it? Could be a symbol or some kind of image. Does this shame have a sound? Does this shame, the sensation, have motion to it? Does it move outwards or inwards or sideways or vibratory or in? Or is it held? Or is it still? And lastly, does your shame have a texture? And if it, so there's some of your shame. We're here, we're getting through it. I invite you to put your hands on the area where your shame lands. And rather than covering up the shame, we are doing a new act of self-care, a new act of healing and wholeness, that we are here with the feeling of shame. We are not abandoning ourselves. We're here with. We can handle feeling it for a moment. You're going to ask your shame, is there a limiting belief that has been, that is at the root of why you're feeling ashamed right now? Is there a limiting belief from myself or from someone in the past? Try to identify the belief. Notice what realm it's in. Like, does it have to do with appearance or your smarts or your how good you are or how cool you are? How successful you are. Notice what realm is feeling threatened. So if it is a belief that you don't actually believe and you don't need that, you don't want that in your life anymore, then we're shedding light on that. Like, oh, that's actually not a belief that I'm going to keep anymore. I am letting that go. It doesn't have to, I don't have to be a puppet for that belief anymore. I'm on to you now. And if it is a value of yours that you want to uphold, then this is a time to really offer some self compassion, some self compassion, some tenderness towards yourself, towards your shame, this befriending of, hey, everybody makes mistakes. I still love you. We're going to be okay. We just keep trying. And so holding the feeling of shame and meeting it with this quality of self-compassion, which is a tenderness in your suffering. Because when we're feeling shame, that is a suffering. But we can help to soothe that suffering by being kind with ourselves when we're feeling it. And so this act of kindness right now is not in the thought, the mental realm. It's not in even the physical realm so much. It is in the energetic sending of this quality of tenderness, of understanding, or maybe you need unconditional love, that is the energy medicine that is going into your self, into this shame, like medicine. So be your shame receiving the medicine, this quality of compassion in your suffering. Good. Keeping your eyes closed. We'll take a deep breath. One more clearing breath. And begin to open your eyes. So, ladies, I need to go get some dinner while it's still at the restaurant place at this retreat center. So I'm going to pass hands to Leah, and we will continue to work with this. And Leah, will you offer that dance to them with that song?
Offer what dance? I mean, offer the
The
song. What do you?
one, the one with I am light.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
What
I'll
song?
explain to them.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you see fit sometime tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so there's one song Leah's gonna play, and I invite you to allow yourself to move however you're wanting to move. And this is your act of self-love, of growing from that shame into the transformation, that you're not judging yourself. Oh, I'm not that creative, or oh, I look funny, or people are looking at me, or like, am I doing this wrong? This is like, just keep coming back into your body. What is wanting to move? What's wanting to move? And you allow it to move. Yes?
Yes.
Woo! Hold that space for yourself to just let yourself move. Okay, good. All
Okay.
right. Thank you all so much. I will talk with you soon.
And Katie
Lots
won't
of
be with
love.
us next week, but she'll be with us in the sister circle at the end of the month. So beaming Katie with some love, and she'll be holding space in the text chat over the next week. So
Yes, I
enjoy
will.
Costa Rica, enjoy the retreat. Thank you for being
Thank you
present and
all.
tuning in from Costa Rica and just making this the priority that it is. We love you.
Oh, it was so good to see you ladies. So I wish I could stay. I want to hear what's going on for you. So um, text me anytime. All right. Bye. So bye.
Bye. Okay. So, coming from that place, we're going to move right into some journaling, and then we'll go into some sharing in a breakout room, kind of staying with this shame. And then we're going to switch topic a little bit, a little more journaling, a little more sharing. And then we'll do that movement kind of towards the end. So if you have your journals with you, I invite you to explore, where in your body did you feel the shame? So just kind of put some words. We've been in the sensory experience of it. But sometimes through writing about things, we can find more clarity. So really just reflecting on that experience of presencing with the shame, noticing where you felt it in your body. Did it surprise you where in your body you felt it? Or did that make complete sense? Like, okay. When you started to offer love to yourself, were you able to feel it at this point, or did it still feel distant? And just really being non-judgmental with kind of where you are with this process and with that practice. So I'll give you a couple minutes to explore that one, and then we'll take that prompt into the breakout room. And those of you in Temple Sisters know this, but I do want to mention it since we have some new people with us. It doesn't have to be words. If art is what moves through you when you're expressing, you're always welcome when during the journaling process to draw or create art or some sort of expression in that way. So with that, maybe about 30 more seconds here with this one. Again, just reflecting on that process. I'm going to move everyone into some breakout rooms. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Since we're being recorded, just to honor the space and anything that might be shared, I'm actually just going to put 3 of you in one room, and then we'll be partnered up instead of having someone kind of in the public space sharing with me, because anyone that watches the replay will see that part. So give me 1 second. If you are new to breakout rooms, Caitlin, I guess it's just you. You're going to be sent to a room with a partner. So actually, if we can have the people that don't have their cameras on, so Kelly and Caitlin, if you can just drop in the chat that you're okay to go into a breakout room. You don't have to go on screen, but you would need to unmute, because I just don't want to send anyone back there that wouldn't be able to unmute. Caitlin's good. Kelly, are you good? I saw you sharing the chat earlier, so. Okay, cool. All right, thank you. Oh, so weird when I have to do these breakout rooms and I know I have to look crazy and y'all are just staring at me like, hi. Okay, I'm gonna send you out with this one. Let me double check the time. Okay. Share as needed, but within the space, maybe about 3 minutes per person. So it'll be a little bit lengthier. This is a heavier topic. Again, lean in only as safe as you feel that you can do within this container, within the space of being in your own home and in a virtual setting. So, but again, we're just exploring the practice. Where did it resonate? Where did you feel resistance towards it, and what came up? All right. Yeah, in a few. And for those watching the recording during this time, really just reading over what you wrote, and you may feel called to journal longer, but reading your words, and then how can you go deeper with what you learned about yourself through the reflection. Maybe you want to tune back into that space. Maybe you want to journal or draw something that came up, but just expand a little further, deepen a little more with this topic of shame. Hello, hello. Welcome back. We got about 15 more seconds and then they'll be joining us. Okay. Like everybody's back. Oh, Kelly, hi. Now I can see you. Okay, so just kind of breathing into that. That's a big topic. That's one that we'll continue to presence with throughout this session, and we'll work with it in different ways. Is there anyone that wants to share or have something witnessed in the bigger space before we transition to a different prompt? Just want to honor that. Or you can share in the chat. Does everybody feel complete? Maybe just a head nod if you feel complete with the sharing in the breakout room. You feel heard, seen, supported. Okay, if at any point you want to share on that in the chat, I will honor that when I see it come through. So going back into the journal. So this one with this topic, I think, especially at the beginning when we're starting to kind of just really presence with what's going on there, I think it's important to have that quiet introspection time. And so that's why we're getting into that quiet space to really like lean into this sacred center and see kind of what's up with us, right? What's going on? How can we love on it? So back into the journals, one more prompt and one more share. This one, what messages about my power, confidence, or worth did I receive growing up? So the first part is, what messages about my power, confidence, or worth did I receive growing up? Which of these beliefs no longer serves me? And so that's a really big question, but I invite you just to try to zero into one, or maybe there's like a theme or an umbrella. So, and this could be messages from media, messages from family, messages from religion. So Katie touched on some of this, how we're bombarded with these things. She gave the example of be a good little girl, right? Don't be too loud, too emotional, like whatever that might be for you. Maybe there's something very, very specific about like you as a person and that worth and that confidence. So what messages about my power, confidence, or worth did I receive growing up? Which of these beliefs no longer serves me? So taking some time with that one. AJ, I just saw that you want me to repeat it again. Sorry, I had the breakout room box over the chat. Are you good on the prompt? So just exploring when you were growing up, messages you heard. So it's almost like things that were placed upon you about your worth or your confidence or your powers. Like, for example, it took me until very recently to detach from the belief that my productivity equaled my worth, right? I feel like I had to be doing something, producing something. And I can kind of look back in my childhood and be like, wow, I was praised a lot more in certain situations if I had like produced something or done something. And so then that became, as I got older, a way that I existed in life. Well, if like I do the thing or create all the things or, hold all the things, then I'm worthy. And so it's very hard for me to rest, to pause, to say no, right? So that's an example there. When you guys keep writing, I'm just gonna set up these breakout rooms. Okay, so I'm sending you in the breakout rooms, probably 2 to 3 minutes per person on this one. Did you guys feel like you had enough time in the last one? Too much time? Thumbs up if about that amount of time was good. It's really hard for me to know because I'm just over here in silence. So if you ever watch the recording, I just normally turn my camera off. So it's like I have no concept. Thumbs up about that time was good. Okay, thank you. All right, I'm going to send you guys that way. And again, it's just exploring that prompt. Or if there's something else within this topic of the solar that you want to have, witnessed, then this would be the time to do that. All right. Oh, wait, hold on. That's not going to work. Stop. I think I just sent you all to the same room. Hold on. Sorry, techie stuff, guys. Techie stuff. See if they have to come back in like 30 seconds. They're gonna be like, what just happened? I sent I sent everyone to the same room. Techie stuff. Techie stuff. Feel free as I kind of wait on this. If there's anything in the chat that has been coming up for you tonight, you can definitely share that. 15 seconds and they'll be back. We'll do take two. Take two. Pretty good though at all the breakout rooms. That's the first time I've ever done that. How are you guys feeling? I know the topic with like shame's pretty heavy, but drop a word. Sorry guys, I sent you all into the same room and then you were already there. And I realized that I sent every person into the same room. I've actually never done that. So my bad. Sorry. I love you all. I'm gonna redo this. Take two. Sorry. All right. Okay. Everyone should have a room now. All right, we're gonna do 3 and 3. There we go. Okay, we're doing bigger rooms this time. Hey, Joe, I just sent you to one, so you should get a notification now. Okay. Thanks for your patience. If you're watching the recording, inviting you to go a little deeper with that. So exploring maybe more than one pattern or belief that, maybe look at different times in your life, right? It doesn't have to be just when you were growing up, but maybe just kind of throughout your life, just starting to presence with some of those messages that were placed upon you by media, family, church, society, whatever it may be. And so just take more time because it's a really big one. And we're going to work more with that and cutting some of those limiting beliefs away, cutting some of those illusions away in the next circle with Kali. So really exploring this specific topic is going to be helpful because we're going to build upon it.
You know, one thing I didn't mention, Leah, in the group that I had written down, and it is very, really key and profound to me, is that I was taught that being self-sufficient meant I was accepted and would receive praise for doing things on my own at a very young age, because I was like the youngest of 4 siblings, and there was a big age gap. And so it taught me not to ask for help, like that. I like to be an adult and to be grown up was to not say, I need your help, you know, or I need help with this, or, you know, and I struggle with that, like, you know, today, you know, so that was one more that I didn't mention, but it's something I'm still working on.
It's so interesting when we look back. It's like sometimes we don't even realize like where the thing came from. And then when we give ourselves enough space to actually like pause and kind of go back in time, like, where did I first hear that thing? And then it's like a little mind blowing. It's like, wait a minute, like I've operated this way for so long. But what's really beautiful is when we take the time to to bring awareness to these things, it's really an opportunity to just choose differently for ourselves and to see what life can feel like when we lean into a different way of being, you know, and it can be a long process. And so just honoring you for sharing that in that space. And I kind of resonate with that feeling of not wanting to ask for help, you know. And so I think with this session, just continuing like for the next like I guess the whole month of February, noticing when that's coming up for you, right? And then how can you choose differently, lean in a little bit more for support. I see you in that one, friend. Like I see you. AJ, I saw that you were unmuted. Did you want to share, or is that just a tech?
Sure, I can quickly. The first one we went into, I kind of went into it and was like, I don't know, like I'm kind of struggling with this whole shame thing. You know, what you see is what you get when you meet me. And so there's not much that kind of puts me sideways in terms of like being embarrassed or shame. And then when we went into our second out, you know, when we went into the second group, I was able to then think like, kind of more outside the box, or more like what you just said, Leah, of like being in a space where you have a moment to think about, like, I'm so wired that I'm not even realize that I'm wired this way because I was told, be seen and not heard, quiet down my loud voice, take your, I have a very fiery personality. So like take that and bring it down 3 levels. Don't cause any family contact, like conflict with being honest, like not being taught how to have productive, honest conversations. If it's going to riffle the feathers, don't say it. I'm married to a woman, so having to kind of get through and work through the Catholicism, Christianity piece of like man is only with woman. And then being self-efficient is great. Like if you can do it yourself, you got it under control. Like don't ask for help. That was another really big one in my household too. Mostly because of the circumstance, that my family was in, but yeah. So then being able to kind of like just really think outside the box in terms of like what really is wired for you, and like how do you really function, and like why do you function the way that you function. It's not just about body, I mean, I have sexual shame, body shame, the things that we probably all share mostly in common. But like how do we get outside of those things and get deeper? So good stuff.
Yeah, well, honoring you for continuing to do that tonight in circle. And so what I would certainly invite you to do is like now that you've had some clarity around some of those things over the next week, because we're going to work more with the limiting beliefs when we get into the Kali circle. But now that you have some clarity, going back into that practice that Katie led us through and feeling it and seeing like, okay, when I think about this certain thing, like where do I feel it in my body? And can you bring that love there, that compassion? I like the phrase, like, and it's been coming up a lot in sessions that I'm doing with women, but being like compassionately curious, right? It's really beautiful to tie those things together. Like, can we be curious, but like, oh, like, can we do it with compassion? And I think Katie teaches that in such a beautiful way. So just inviting everyone here to continue to explore these things, not just around shame, but around the larger aspects of the solar plexus, right? Personal power, setting boundaries, confidence, all of these things that Katie mentioned. What I would like to do, let me check the time. Okay. I want to just give you an opportunity. I've shared this spoken word prayer, like whatever word resonates with you. I've shared this piece of writing in several containers. So if you've been with me for a while, you may have heard it, but I find it really important for this space. And it's called Call My Power Back. So we're going to take a moment to just close our eyes, and I'm going to read this, and I invite you just to breathe into the words. And then I think after that, I'll play the song that Katie had, and everyone can just kind of take their moment to move, and then we'll close with the candle if that feels good. And Robin's coming back in, so let me get her back in here. Hey, Robin. So I'm glad you're back with us. Just wanted to let you know, I'm inviting everyone now to, I'm going to read a spoken word / prayer, blessing, just kind of a calling back of your power that if you've been in circle with me, you may have heard, but just inviting you to close your eyes, begin to relax your body, come into a space to receive. But I invite you to sit in a way that feels powerful to you. So whatever that looks like, we're all different, but whatever, just like as you are seated here, you feel your strength, you feel that solid foundation, you're feeling the creativity and the portal of the womb space, and you're feeling the fire of that solar and the strength and the power and that confidence there in that space. So as humans, but certainly as women, we scatter our energy, we give our power away at different times throughout our lives. So this is a moment to just call some of that back with intention. So with your eyes closed, just taking a deep breath in through the nose. Big exhale out. Do that 2 more times, just settling into the body, into this moment. And maybe you place a hand on your solar plexus or wherever in your body you feel is your place of power, wherever you're just sensing that in this moment. I now call my energy back to myself. I unhook from the need for others to see me in any certain way at this time. I am no longer energetically, emotionally, or mentally available to assume what others are thinking, needing, or feeling, and trust them as capable to feel their own feelings and own their own needs. I trust that I am sovereign over my experience, and in doing so, accept full responsibility to honor myself, my vision, and my body's needs. I no longer dance the dance of people-pleasing, placating, or niceties. My energy, my body, my emotions, my boundaries, my joy, my healing, my choices, all of it is my responsibility. And I accept this sacred responsibility with reverence. I trust myself with my fullness. I trust that others are capable of healing without my rescuing, tending, or saving. I trust my own capacity to feel my discomfort when others are having distressful experiences, projections, or want me to give more than I can. I trust my sovereignty to choose who, what, and how to use my energy at this time. I trust myself to make bold choices with what I hear as I tune in. I trust myself to recover when I get it seemingly wrong. I now make the sovereign choice to believe that it is safe to be in my fullness and in my power and in my truth, and for others to be in theirs. I am my own. I am my own. I am my own. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. Big exhale out. I invite you to gently open your eyes. Bring yourself to a place of standing. Screen can be on or off. And I'm going to share the song that Katie chose. And the invitation again is to move your body in a way that feels good, in a way that feels that you are offering love to those places that maybe feel shame or hold some of those limiting beliefs. To dance for your power and your truth and your knowing. And if someone that is on the screen in just a second can just give me a thumbs up that y'all hear this, then we'll be good. Hold on. No, don't want to. As I do the techie stuff, inviting you to really be present with your breath. And as you stand and kind of wait on the music to play, claiming a power pose, whatever that is for you. Almost there. Okay, deep breath in, big exhale out. Hold on, that's not it. Oh, the techie stuff. Oh, the techie stuff today, guys. I love you all. Here we go. All right. I'm gonna give it one more try here. Okay, since it's not working, the song Katie wanted, I'm gonna put it on the homework. The song is a beautiful song called I Am Light, but stay where you are. Stay where you are in your power pose. And instead of a full dance, let's just take a moment to breathe into this place of power. So as you stand in whatever position is having you really feel embodied in your strength and your power and holding your boundaries and knowing the holy yes and the sacred no. Feel that in your body. I want you to begin at your feet, feeling grounded on the earth in whatever position you have chosen. Breathe from that place of foundation and move that breath up the body, just sensing with each place. So moving up the legs, up the base of the body, into the womb. We're just feeling the power in each of these places. So the strength of your legs, feeling the womb space expand as you breathe. Moving up into that solar, presencing with that fire. Moving up still, feeling your torso and how it's holding your spine, that strength to stand tall. Feeling your heart. And you pull your shoulders back in this position of like pride and confidence. Can you open your palms towards the sun, towards opportunity, towards infinite possibility, because you are worthy and capable of claiming whatever you want in this life. Breathing up towards the throat, honoring your expression and the power to use your voice. Bringing a smile to your face, this confidence, the strength of knowing that you know who you are and will not be swayed. Breathing into the third eye to see beyond seeing, and breathing up into the crown now, holding this place of power in your entirety as you stand here in this pose, bridged and connected to the divine. Take 3 breaths in this space, claiming your power. I am worthy. I am powerful. I trust myself. And as you exhale, just soften in your body any of those places that you presenced earlier with the shame or the insecurity or the fear. And then take 2 more breaths in this way. Deep breath in. Exhale. One more time. Let it go. And you can come back to the circle space and we'll close up together. And what I'll do is I'll put that song as part of our homework, and then you can move your body to it. Looked like my daughter's playlist is the only thing that was wanting to play on my computer, so I appreciate you all flowing. Before we close, let me touch on the homework. So let me pull that up really quickly. So next Tuesday, Katie will not be with us. Kind of throughout the year, there might be some where Katie flies solo or I fly solo. So we're going to be learning about Kali, and she's a really powerful energy. She is fierce, and we're going to be working with the cutting away of those limiting beliefs, the ones that came up today, ones that'll come up as you kind of move through the homework, and illusions, right? And just really stepping more into our fierceness, our boldness, our wildness, and our power. So really looking forward to that circle. With the homework for tonight, you're going to get a new accountability sister. So, and I say tonight, but when the homework posts, probably tomorrow. New accountability sister. So a big one's going to be obviously checking in with her, saying hello. There'll be a few journal prompts, but it's not going to be super heavy on the journaling because I know we did some of that here. We're going to ask you this entire month to stay with the breath of fire. So really connecting with that breath of fire as often as you can. So consistency there. And then we're going to, instead of journaling, go through a little bit more of like an artistic expression this week. So you'll see this in the PDF, but asking you to create, either if it's a phrase, a word, a color, or an image, something on a piece of paper that's going to represent a symbol of power for you, whatever that is. So really trusting yourself, but we just really activated the sacral, which holds that creative energy, and now we're moving into power. So kind of using the energy of the sacral to fuel some artistic expression there. Symbol of your personal power. And that's it for the homework. So if you have any questions, you can drop it in the text. But other than that, we are good to go for this week. Let's bring the candle here. I'm just inviting you to really tune back into that flame, honoring the sacred flame that exists within circles throughout time, honoring the inner fire that we each hold and the fire of this sisterhood as a collective. Taking a moment as you're still holding the candle just to place your hand back on your solar plexus. Just take a few breaths here. Really just bring that fire into that beautiful warm glow that Katie spoke of. We're bringing it to this healthy, beautiful, warm glow. And may this glow carry you through this week until we meet in our next temple space. Deep breath in with gratitude, blowing the candle out when you're ready. Waving the smoke, waving the smoke. Feel free to unmute if you like. And for those that are grabbing the recording, thank you for being here. All right. Sisters, I love you all. I hope you have a